Mark, we are live. Live. Okay, cool. So this is our little virtual debrief, our virtual journal of our To Hump excursion. I think it's safe to say it's an excursion. Sam, Mark, they were the crew. Preface this with literally could not have done it without them. So, side note there. Okay, so what is the To Hump? The To Hump is a route from the low point of Arizona, so the bottom of the Grand Canyon, to the high point of Arizona, which is the top of Mount Humphrey. Apparently, people have been doing this since the 1980s. I'm reading like a little history book here. First attempts, we're in 1973 is like the first back by Scott Baxter, which feels crazy to be attempting this at that time. Just some side notes, current FKT, supported FKT, so fastest known time, is the men's is Nick Corey with 14 hours, 35 minutes, and 46 seconds. And the female is Nikki Deely with 19 hours, 10 minutes, and 29 seconds, which I think we can all agree after doing the route and driving, yes, exactly. That is some pretty impressive. Cool. Mark, how's that smoothie going?
It's good.
Okay, so we got some show notes. We're very prepared for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know anybody who has done this route. Well, okay, so I was running a race in Flagstaff, and the gentleman in front of me was talking about how he had attempted it. That is actually the closest person to me that I know who had done it.
Did he finish?
No, I think he did finish, but I didn't get the whole story. I just heard that he was doing it, and he's the first person. He lives in Flagstaff. I was like listening to him talk to somebody in front of me while I was at this race. So I don't know him, but I was like, oh, like this is a thing. With that said, we have really like no idea how many people have done the To Hump. It's pretty mysterious online. You can't really see how many men and how many women have done this, and I'm sure it's more than we know, but it's a pretty mysterious little route.
Yeah, I was trying to get like an answer, and like ChatGPT and Strava, everything was like, there's probably less than 10 ladies that have done it successfully. I don't know how many people have attempted it, but since it's like inception.
And it was like, like just finding like the internet trail for this route was like seemingly impossible. We could see like 12-ish males who had completed it, which is cool because I'm sure there are people who've done it and not reported it, which is kind of what makes this route a little bit exciting and a little bit appealing. Mark, had you heard about this route like beforehand or?
No, I never heard about it.
No?
No.
Okay. So Sam's uncle is the first person that I heard to ever talk about it. And he probably brought it up in it was a long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago at Christmas. He was like, there's this route. Because they had done the rim to rim to rim. A pretty like prolific route in Arizona from South Rim, North Rim to back.
And then my uncle did a stage race, which is like a week long from the Grand Canyon to Grand Staircase in Utah. And I think that was called the Grand to Grand. And I think he heard about To Hump on that race from another like runner. And he was like, you can either do the hole to hump or the hump to hole, but it's kind of like the rim to rim bigger brother. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the one that brought it up, and he was like, there's this route. There's no rules, no start line. Well, there's a start line. You have to touch the river, but he's like, you can do it any which way you so choose, which I thought was quite cool, quite fascinating. So yeah, I heard it from him. So that kind of like planted the seed. I was like, man, I would really love to do that. And then when we moved here in 2023, I was like, there's really no excuse not to do it. Well, that's not totally fair, but I was like, if there's a time to do it, it's now.
The time's not.
The time is now. Laura. So that's kind of what piqued my interest. It felt very much like a pipe dream then. And actually, now that it's been completed, it still feels a little bit like, how did that even happen? So,
well, and like we've done so much, Mark as well, in the canyon. And it's like near and dear to our hearts. We love it. And then we've also climbed Humphrey, and we love Flagstaff. And so connecting the two was just like, man, what if we could?
yeah, it was absolutely a what if situation. More than we know, especially with Grandpa. So Grandpa. So training wise, Sam and I were just talking about this beforehand. I was like, what month did I like 100% decide that I was going to do this? Because we were kind of like throwing around different dates. And this is like an interesting thing to commit to because there isn't an official, you're just out there by yourself. So like, nobody cares if you're out there. Nobody cares if you don't go. Like there isn't a start line. So I was like, I'm going to pick a date and I'm going to stick to that date. So training wise, I'm pretty sure I knew I was going to do the To Hump when I did the speed goat. Okay. Which the speed goat is in July.
I think you talked to me about it in June.
Okay. June was like the first time I brought it up with you. That's
so, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think June was like kind of the moment where I was like, all right, I'm committing to this in October. So then training wise, training, frankly, is just a bunch of foot miles, just time on feet. I did some more strength training this time around than I have in the past. But I would say that speed goat was like a big, that was like a come to Jesus moment. Speed goat's a 50K. How much elevation is the speed goat, Mark?
It's like 11,000.
Okay, yeah. So the speed goat is a 50K with 11,000 feet of elevation gain. And I vividly remember hitting mile 2 and like knowing I was in for an absolutely criminal day.
Mark, how about you tell us about your speed goat experience?
Speed goat is rough. You guys were supposed to be there.
Yes.
I did it. And due to the
Microsoft.
What happened? The Microsoft update?
Outing.
This is the CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike. Yeah. Your flight got canceled. So I was like, well, guess I'm doing speed goat alone. And I did it. And it was a long day.
Such a long day.
I greatly underestimated how hard it would be. And I walked a lot. I hiked every uphill. And it was so hot. I've never seen more people barf at a race before than I've seen at speed goat.
I can't express to you, like, speed goat was so hard. I will never do it again. Nope.
No one does it twice. Everybody here is like, oh, I'm going to do speed goat. It's like the local thing. And then everyone does it, and they're like, holy fuck, that was awful.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But like that was a big training run for me. And it was a little discouraging. I was like, man, that was so hard. I was like, I don't know how. But with that said, it was like a similar amount of elevation gain in a 50K as the entirety of like the whole To Hump. But also, and then another big training run. So frankly, training was just like time of feet, but another big training run was Mark's 100-miler, his first 100-miler, which was literally 2 weeks to the day almost that we did To Hump. 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks. So I gave Mark 3 weeks to recover.
That was 2 weeks I probably couldn't have done.
So I was like, yeah. So Mark did which 100-miler did you do?
I did the Bear.
The Bear.
Bear 100.
Yeah, the Bear 100. So I used Mark for the Bear 100 for a training run.
That's okay.
I was lucky enough to pace him.
Haley paced me all night long.
All night long. I think it was 40 miles said and done.
I think you did 40 miles.
Yes. Yeah. I think cumulatively we did 40 miles. And through the night running through the night is good training. It's tough.
It's hard.
It's super hard. Yeah. Mentally, physically, everything.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sam paced you too. So we had like a little crew alliance beforehand. Like we were ready. We were super ready. I should have definitely probably trained more. I don't know. Even hindsight 2020, you're like, oh, I could have done more elevation. Like, sure, but it's gonna hurt regardless. Here, I love it. Okay, what was the longest run I completed before? What's the longest?
What was your what?
Probably
Mark's. Yeah, pacing Mark was the longest run completed beforehand.
Probably. I mean, speed go was pretty long.
Yeah, I think distance-wise, yours was the longest, and then elevation, the speed go for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think time on feet, that's what it comes down to, and all of the things. Planning and logistic-wise, Sam was a heavy hitter on the route planning. You used, what app did you use? You used Onyx, yeah?
Yeah, because it was hard to, I went to like Bass Pro, I went to like Shields, a couple places around here, trying to find like paper maps, like the, I don't know, survey, like the Nat Geo, like survey maps, just to find like something I could research, but that didn't really work. So I ended up using like the Onyx backcountry app, which like showed us like where there's private land, who owns it, and then it allowed me to like build a route from there. And we picked one that was like mainly off a lot of the roads, the highway, which made it a little more difficult to like refuel you along the way, but
it's much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with the route specifically, there were so many question marks because, full disclosure, I did not do any of the section from the South Rim to Humphrey running wise. And so we talked a lot about just finding a route that was close to roads, because we were like, well, when in doubt, if you're running on a highway, at least you're like accessible for like crew. Sure. There were a ton of question marks around the route building, but that app was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Like all of the information it gave was awesome.
But there's so many like questions that was like, okay, are you going to do hole to hump, or are you going to do hump to hole? And then the route doesn't start until you're at the bottom of the canyon. So are you going to start from the bottom? Or are you going to camp overnight at, Bright Angel Campground at Phantom Ranch? Are you going to take Bright Angel up? Are you going to take South Kai-5 up? So there's so many questions. And then once you got to the rim, everything between the rim of the canyon to Flagstaff was unknown territory. We had never done any of that. So that took a lot of time to just kind of figure out a route. But once we got that dialed, you were like happy, ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't fathom hiking out of the canyon after going like up hump. Like I couldn't imagine starting Humphrey to hole. Like the thought of hiking out of the canyon after doing all that, I was like, that feels like a lot. So that is why that's why I was like, I'm going to do the canyon first. Also, I'm pretty familiar with South Kaibab. I think that had been like the 8th time I had done that like route. So I was like, I feel good. I feel I know how long it's going to take me, what it's going to feel like. So I'll just start with that kind of thing. And I knew I was going to start alone, and I knew I was going to start in the dark. So I wanted to do something familiar. Yeah, so that's why I chose that direction. So starting at the river to the top of Humphrey. And then we also talked about camping you camp at the bottom and then so hike in the day before. I just didn't want to. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't want like crew to have to like haul all the tents and stuff out because I knew it was gonna be a really big day, like for you guys too. And none of us like slept. And I knew physically it was gonna be a big ask to have you guys do that. And I was actually like pretty excited to do the canyon, the down and back. And I was like, it's part of it. It's like it's not technically part of the route because it doesn't start until you touch the river. But I was like, it completed. It put a bow on it for me, I guess.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why I chose that. So day by day, Mark flew in on Thursday.
I flew on Friday.
Flew in Friday morning, right?
And we're in mid to late October, and so there was always like this question around like, okay, Humphrey in October could be troublesome, and so is she gonna have a weather window? We don't know. So you flew regardless. Thankfully, we had the weather window where there wasn't snow up on Humphrey. We knew it was gonna be a little chilly, but flew in on Friday. Kind of helped get everything.
I flew in Thursday at like midnight.
Oh. Yeah. It was like Thursday at midnight because it would be October 17th was that Friday. So October 17th.
I bought the wrong flight. I bought the flight with the connecting flight in Vegas versus just a direct flight to Phoenix.
So it was already like a good start.
Very inconvenient. But that's okay.
But
I hate out the Vegas airport.
Right. You could sleep in, so it all worked out.
Exactly. Actually, I think it was Chili's.
Chili's?
Yeah, I ate Chili's in the Vegas airport for dinner on Thursday.
Mark, that is so risky before like an outdoor excursion like that.
I do remember that.
Man, this is an ad for Chili's. Just so you all know.
That's very good.
Love it. So that was October 17th, which is the date. So Mark flies in. We sleep in because I was like, there's no real rush to get to the Grand Canyon to just sit there and think about the impending doom at hand. So we just kind of woke up, hung out. We got McDonald's. Mark and I got McDonald's.
Solid.
Ate a little. I don't know where you were. Were you at work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had like a little egg McMuffin. I honestly think that would have been a completely different run without it. Then we loaded the van, got everything going, and the van doesn't run.
Boy, Grandpa
the van, 1995 G20 van. He's beautiful inside and out. It's got a little bit of a weird smell, but we appreciate him nonetheless. He doesn't start. Was this
as old as I am?
He's as old as you are. Maybe you guys have the same birthday.
No, we backed it out of the garage, and we were going to back it out so we could pack it, and it was dead. And I was like, okay, we haven't run it for a long time. The battery just needs to be run. We'll be fine. So you guys pack it. I get off work. I'm already packed, ready to go. We load up the van. We all get in. It doesn't start again. So then we jump it. We're like, all right, we're going to be set. We just need to start heading north to Flag, and the battery's going to charge up. It's going to be great. And we're not going to have any trouble.
Yeah. Which was fine. We didn't stop the vehicle while we were driving up. We stopped at a rest stop.
Yeah, we turned it off there, and it started back up. And that was a fun rest stop because we saw these people pulling off like these fruits from cactus, and we were like, that looks fun. What are they doing with that? And then we realized it was prickly pear. So then we were like, we got to try that. Mark liked it. His lips were red. His fingers were red. He was like, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
But they were like really...
They were thorny.
They're like these little fine cactus quills. You got a bunch in your fingers. Like, I got one in my lip.
Yes.
And it was like, nice. Like, can't wait to like run and be eating more food I've ever eaten in my life in the next 24 hours. And I have this like cactus quill in my lip.
Yeah. Haley had to go buy tweezers to get it out.
I also like was super fixated on it. I think I was anxious about the run, and so I couldn't I was just like fixated on something else to like ease myself. So yeah, we had prickly pear, got a bunch of cactus quills in our fingers and in our lip. And then
your lip.
My lip, not everybody's lip.
We were chill.
Just mine.
No, they were in my fingers. They were bothering me. I was driving. We got up to Flag, and then we stopped at like a gear store to get some more fuel and snacks. And then as we got out, we were like, ooh, it's a little chilly up here. We're not in Phoenix anymore. And then we go get dinner at a brewery, Dark Sky. At least Mark and I did. Haley took the van to go buy tweezers.
I went to Walgreens and bought a little tweezers because I was like, I cannot eat this pizza with this cactus quill in my lip. But we got that resolved, and then each of us housed an entire pizza.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Did you guys have a beer?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys had a beer. I think I had a Coke.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I really
an entire pizza and a beer. It's great.
Which I feel like is like it's a good
meal.
It's a good pre-run meal.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was the move. And then from there, we drove the rest of the way, which is like another hour-ish, to Mather Campground in the Grand Canyon, which felt super weird because the government was shut down at that point. Yeah, like it was like a ghost town, but then there were...
You didn't have to pay to get in. There's people working, but not getting paid.
Like we had a reservation, but like I don't know if we needed it. I don't know.
I gotta go give this guy some skis.
What?
I sold some skis on Facebook.
Okay, we're gonna keep yapping. You do your thing.
You do that.
Mark. These look nice.
They are nice.
Or at Mather, it's too cold to set up a tent. We're not setting up a tent for Mark. We're pretty tired. It was kind of late. So we decided, let's just hang out in the van at the campground. It's too dark to see anything, to do anything. Too late. We want to go to bed early. And so we give you some time just to get all your gear put together. And then kind of wind down, and then when did you decide to set your alarm?
I want to say I went to bed at 10. I don't remember exactly, but I remember being tired. I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to sleep. And I remember setting my alarm for 2:50, and I was like, ugh. I was like, I really need to sleep because I know I'm not going to sleep for a long time. So yeah, I remember being sleepy, which was awesome. That eased. But I also remember the drive up to Mather from Flagstaff was I was super anxious and high strung at that point. It was all getting very, very real. So yeah, but yeah, set my alarm for 2:50, got my gear together, and then I was ready to roll. It was all three of us in the van, all just shoved in there. Slept pretty good, wasn't cold, which was huge. Alarm went off at 2:50 a.m. start time.
By the time I woke up, you weren't even in the van.
Yeah.
You had already like been out, dressed, went to the bathroom, brushed your teeth, everything, and then you come back, open the door, and that's when I woke up, and I was like, I had no idea what time it was, but you were ready to go.
Yeah, I was like, I snuck out and did my warm up, and yeah, I was like, all right.
It was kind of tricky because like you have to be kind of quiet at like 3 a.m. at a campground. You can't be like slamming doors and whatnot.
And naturally, Grandpa the van was dead again.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have problems with the van all the way up to Flag. It started every time, but the night was like so cold. I think the battery just like was shocked and it would not start. So we had to jump it again at 3 a.m. when everyone else is sleeping. The van starts, and then we start tooling over to South Kaibab, and you're ready to rock.
Yeah. So
Did the van start?
No, we had to jump it that morning.
Yeah, we had to jump it at 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, and it was like it was cold. Like we were cold, like sitting up there. And I think you guys were. Oh, bless you. I had like adrenaline going, but like I think you guys were like sleepy and cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we drove out South Kaibab, and you guys drove me right up to the trailhead.
Mm-hmm.
My Garmin, I started my watch at the top of the trailhead. My Garmin says a 3:44 a.m. start time for the hike down. So the hike down to the river is 6.78 is what my Garmin had. And I knew we had talked about it, like 3 of us had talked about it, and I knew I was going to do that alone. It was very dark. It was very quiet. It was kind of scary. I think I had been in, if I like had never been in the canyon before, that would have been pretty scary. It was still like kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. All I could hear was like my footsteps. Like the walls like crowd the noise so much that as soon as I stopped, it was just like silence. Like stopped moving. So I just like kept moving. And then I also got to this like weird section where like it said a part of the trail was going to be closed. And I was like in reaching, like with my Garmin in reach, messaging you guys being like, I think the trail might be closed. I was like kind of freaking out because I was like, no way. There's no way. Like I didn't come all this way. And then this trail is closed. But it was the Tonto trail, the one that it like cuts across. That section was closed. So, and in my head, I was like, I just have to keep going. Like I have to get in and out before the sun comes up. No one will even know I was here. Like it'll be fine. But it wasn't closed. Yeah, but it was like kind of crazy. It was a cool start because it was like, it was just me and my thoughts out there in the canyon. I did see a couple deer. I saw a ram. Is that a ram?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, saw a ram. The deer were everywhere.
Was there like other people hiking at that time, or were you alone?
I didn't see anyone until I was coming out.
Because after we sent you off, Mark and I saw a bunch of like groups of like rim to rim hikers, but they were all walking and they started after you. So you were well ahead of one. You probably saw them on your way out.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody go down. What's up, Mark?
I think that was like 5 a.m.
Oh,
yeah.
A little while later.
They woke us up and we were like, what's going on?
You're like, this is crazy.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I touched the river around like 5. No, yeah, it would have been around 5 a.m. that I touched the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, touched the river. Very dirty. They had gotten a ton of rain the weekend before, so it was like super wide. It looked like chocolate milk. It was crazy. It was really beautiful. And then touched the river, and then on my way out, the sun started to come up. And then that's when like the work starts for sure. On the way out, it's a stair stepper.
It's big.
It's big. Go in the hole, you get out of the hole. It's exposed. Huh?
The sun come up like 5:30, 6?
Yeah, the sun rose at like 5:36, I'd say.
Yeah.
So when I was coming out, like I was probably like a mile in, and the sun was finally starting to come out. And then that's when I started to see a couple like hikers and groups on my. Yeah. So then I was like, all right, cool. Like we're not totally alone out here. Got back to the rim. It took me, I think, 2 hours and 5 minutes to get out, like for the whole duration, so down and out. It took me, about 2 hours and 5 minutes. And then, once we got to the top, Mark and Sam had, what did I eat? Oatmeal or something?
Yeah, you wanted oatmeal and coffee, and I ruined the coffee.
You had strong. Yeah, Sam made some fucking strong coffee. It was the strongest coffee. Some of the strongest coffee I've ever had.
I don't really remember. Like so Sam was like standing at the top because I told him like I was like, oh, I'll be out in 2 hours. Which Sam was like, okay, like sure, like yeah, okay. Because you never know, like it could be longer, it could be shorter, whatever. But yeah, it was like almost 2 hours on the dot. And so he's standing at the top and I could see him like standing up there. And then I get to Mark and he's just like, this coffee. I'm like, just give me a cup of coffee.
It was not good.
I wore my vest down. So I wore my vest down the canyon. When I got out, I was like, okay, I'm going to put my Raid belt on instead. Like a little swap. Oh, and I swapped my shoes. I wore my Hoka Speed Goats down and I busted them up. On the way out, I'm like going and I caught like a barb out of the step with my shoe and it like ripped a hole in my Speed Goat.
You could stick your toe out of it.
Yeah, my toe was sticking out. And I was so thankful it didn't hit my foot because I was like, if that hit my actual toe, that would have been a rough start. A rough start. But I was like, I swapped out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna swap out into I did like my Hoka Mocs, my Mach 6s, which are road shoes technically. And man, they felt good. They felt light. And then I started running on the road on the side of the rim, which was a lovely time.
Yeah, you took off on the rim trail, and then Mark and I were like, all right, we got to pack up. And then the coffee was so bad, we decided we were going to go to the Grand Canyon Village and buy you a real cup of coffee. And then the van didn't start, so we had to jump it again.
Wait, it didn't start again?
Yeah. So then we eventually make it to the village, and there's like a grocery store. Mark and I were taking our time shopping around. I bought some tornadoes. Mark got like a burrito. I got you a ham sandwich.
I had a big old breakfast. I had a burrito, cream cheese, a burrito, bagel with cream cheese.
Okay, I'm so curious. Like at this point, like you guys can be so honest with me. At this point, were you like, what are we doing out here? And did you have a thought that like, were you like, is she gonna actually do this?
I wasn't really worried about that part. I was mostly worried about Grandpa.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, well, if Grandpa breaks down, then she can't do this. So let's figure out Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our main concern. We were like, you could do it, but if you don't have water or any food or nutrition and the van is just dead somewhere, then you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
You can only go so far.
We went to the store, got a big old breakfast. Sam got the tornadoes.
The rolling thing? Oh my god.
No.
They were very good.
They gave you way too many of them.
I did drink the strong coffee, so
that's why you were awake so long. So then, okay, I met you guys then on like the side of the highway, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of by that like tower thing.
Yeah. So I met you guys on the highway, and at that point I was getting kind of cold for some reason. I don't know why. I put an extra layer on, ate a ham sandwich, ate a bunch of potato chips. I vividly remember those. Those were good.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of chips.
I was really into the chips. Had some coffee, sat on the cooler. You guys were cool as a cucumber about the van. Like, I knew it was happening. Like, you guys had like mentioned it to me. You were like, oh, this, like, the battery is not doing great. We might need to like pivot and do this. But you didn't make me think that I was like, I was going to keep running until you guys told me to stop.
Oh, we were going to figure it out.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, they'll figure it out. And so then I remember you guys talking about potentially like going all the way back to like town or something, right? At that point,
We were thinking about getting a new battery in like Flagstaff, and we were just trying to decide when we could do that. But I mean, you ended up like taking off further on the rim trail. Mark and I went back into town because we needed gas. And then we stopped at like a gas station in Tucson, and we were like shopping at a gas station for car batteries, which were like $200 to $300. They didn't have them.
They did have them.
They had batteries, but they didn't have the one we needed.
Didn't have a grandpa battery.
Yeah.
dang.
So at that time, we decided we're filling this thing up, and it's just gonna keep running. We're not gonna turn it off because every time we jumped it, it was harder and harder.
Yeah, it was okay during the day. You could shut the car off during the day, but when it was cold at night,
It got a little rough.
couldn't really shut it off.
What were you guys like doing in the van? Like, were you listening to music? Like, what was going on? Were you talking?
We didn't.
You just sat in silence for like 20 minutes.
Well, we were kind of route finding with you, like it
Hang
took more time to like. And then once you like took off from the rim trail, and you like linked up with the Arizona trail, that's where we couldn't go fast in the van, so we were just kind of crawling the whole way, and so
We didn't have a lot of downtime.
no.
Yeah, that's true. So when I was on the rim trail, the like off the rim trail is like the gravel. I mean, you guys saw the turn. It's kind of like a little weird gravel turn, right? I missed it. I ran right by it.
You got some bonus miles.
Yeah, I got some bonus miles. It added like a mile to the whole thing. And I was so frustrated because I was like, when you're like doing like a whole thing.
It's already so goddamn long.
Yeah, it's already so long. And it's just like kind of like, it was a morale hit. I was like, dang it. Like, so then I was like really like fixated on the map, like almost checking it like too much. Cause at that point there was like very few turns after that for a long time. But I was like, oh, I gotta like check my map. I was so worried about missing turns. But yeah, going to the Arizona trail, there was like a cool sign, and that section from like once I turned, I remember feeling like really good. I remember like my legs felt light. I was like running. I felt good.
Once you hit those fire roads, you were cruising.
Yeah. Like I was like, I felt strong, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is good. And then, but also like that section is so weird. Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of hunters and people and stuff.
yeah.
And four-wheelers.
Lot of 4x4s. There was like a woman on a trampoline.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Kaibab National Forest.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about her.
I mean, they had been out there for a while, not seen people for a while, and then we come through, and it's like,
Hi. Yeah, so I'm out there running. I don't know. So you guys had like prefaced, you were like, hey, we're going to go see what this battery situation is. We might see you in an hour. We might see you in like 3 hours. And so I had that in like my head. So I had extra food and water with me. But yeah, I was feeling good. So I was just like running. And then all these like 4x4s were like dusting me, just eating dirt for a while.
They were choking you out.
Yeah, and I was so thankful I didn't do that in the section in the dark, because there was just like an odd amount of people out there doing just like, I don't know what.
Yeah. So
And they like were looking at me like, what are you doing up here?
And it's like a forest, but you can see really, really far. It's like tall ponderosa pines where you like the clearance on the ground, you can see super far. And so it's really beautiful, but yeah, like you could see what everyone was doing, even though you're in a forest.
Yeah. Well, because so the Arizona Trail, I started on the Arizona Trail. Like there was like, here's the Arizona Trail sign. But I was not on the Arizona Trail. I was on fire roads and like farming roads. So I was like paralleling kind of the Arizona Trail so that they could get to me on the van with the van. So I was like, there were vehicles and like there were things happening.
yeah,
Like the one time there was like,
yeah, good. And yeah, you almost went pretty well. You did almost miss the turn where me and Sam were hanging out.
yes.
I pulled the cot out and was sleeping on the ground. And I think I heard you coming, or you heard us or something. No, you didn't hear us because like you had your headphones in and I was yelling your name and you couldn't hear us.
I'm just like,
you just kept going on the wrong road.
Which was kind of funny because we were like running straight into like a reservation.
Yeah.
You're going onto a reservation. You need to.
So
Sam,
that was right after the aid station. Mile 42. I remember mile 42 for some reason. You guys set up a really good aid station, and I like again. I went hard on the potato chips on that aid station, but that was right before the reservation.
Yeah.
That was mile 42, I think, around there, because that was kind of the first point where I was like, I might actually do this. I was like, I'm 42 miles in and I'm like, okay, like I can do this, I think.
Mark and I we thought we could do it too. We had a beer.
We did have a beer. Yeah, at mile 42, we had a beer. And then we pulled out that little table that's like for children.
And then Mark had a ginger beer, a Gosling beer, and you hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I had a beer too. I had an NA beer, right?
Yeah, NA.
Yeah. I had a carb load.
Yeah.
I wasn't you guys were having all the fun.
Your stomach was doing good. You were feeling good.
Yeah.
You just kept running. You didn't need a pacer yet, so we just kept cruising.
That was when the truck with like a couple dudes stopped. They looked like they were hunting and they were like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yes, yeah. I think so. Yeah, and then right after that was when I didn't have headphones in. I'm probably listening to Donk.
Yeah.
Because that was Mark's playlist suggestion.
Mark had some suggestions, though.
Yeah. And then met you guys there. Took off from there.
Mm-hmm. That was when it started to get a little barren.
Starting to get barren. Then I'm pretty sure I was running through like, it was still public land, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time? Yeah.
At that time it was.
Public land. I'm
like field with like power lines.
Yes. Very open.
And that week, because we drove through that, and things started to get more barren. I was like, oh, Haley's like 50 miles into this thing.
Yeah.
Kind of hot, kind of barren.
Yeah.
This might be hard.
And then Mark and I were still.
We got to we parked at the entrance to the private land.
Yeah, we were like leapfrogging. So then we get ahead, starts cooling off, sun's starting to like set. You wanted dinner, so we like set up everything. I started working on like some potatoes and stuff.
And then we made those mashed potatoes.
And then Mark hopped on your bike.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza.
So it was funny because you guys like anticipated it was starting to get warm. That was like kind of a point where I was like, you guys hadn't run with me yet. So I had been alone like that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I see like off in the distance, like someone on a bike. And I'm like, that has to be Mark or Sam.
Yes.
I'm like, it has to be. And then he pulls up. Mark's rolling in on my bike in a Hawaiian shirt, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was.
Red.
Yes. And he looks at me. He says like nothing. He just goes, "Do you want a puff?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, kind of, but no.
They're still all here.
I still have some from you.
I only had like one or two. Oh, this might be from the wedding.
I was gonna say, I think I have
I
yours.
think I left them with Grandpa.
But yeah, Mark smoked a cigarette right on my bike. He goes, what did you even say? You were like, how's it going? I was like, I don't know, Mark. I'm getting a little tired.
I was like, I thought you could use a pick-me-up maybe.
Yes, that was the perfect timing. Because you guys were like, we bought something at the gas station. And you like wouldn't tell me what it was. Mark was like, I'll bring it out at the perfect time. And it really was the perfect time. I was like, man. It was just a funny scene. Yeah, so I ran, oh gosh, what mile did I pick up one of you for pacing?
I was right at that gate, right before you started the private land.
So was that mile 42?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that was mile 42.
That was 42.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I picked you guys up at mile 42, ate dinner, dehydrated mashed potatoes.
Flat.
So
The
loud.
loaded kind.
The loaded ones?
Mm-hmm.
Salt.
So good. Oh, so much salt. That flaky salt. Ooh.
That's real good.
Yeah. And then you guys were like, you need to change your socks. My feet felt good, but Mark was like, change your socks.
I was put off of my bare feet, which were fucked.
True. You were having some foot issues. You were still having foot
I'm
issues.
still having foot issues.
Yeah.
Because then when we started running, it was my first time running since the bear. And I was like, I'm so glad I'm running.
Yeah.
But then we ran like 5 miles, and I was like, I definitely ran 100 miles like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. You could tell. You could tell for sure.
But it's fun.
Well, this section was kind of weird because we didn't know what to expect. So, like, the sun sets, you get refueled, ready to go, changed, and then the two of you take off. But we, like, have to open a private gate, and then you just start going on this private land. And there's these signs that say you need a permit, like, this is private land, blah, blah, blah. Like, visitors not welcome, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, good luck. And then I start driving the van after I pick up through this private land. No idea what to expect.
Yeah. I had the mentality that I was like, we're just running through. We're trying to get through here actually as quickly as possible.
Beg for forgiveness.
Exactly. And
They were more concerned about hunters shooting shit on their private land.
yeah, I think so too. And also it was getting dark, like the sun was setting. So I was like, this is actually like good timing. I was like, we're going in stealth mode.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark started running with me. It looked like the Lion King.
It was really cool. That was a fucking cool sunset.
It was such a cool sunset.
We
Like,
were doing great. We were running like, I think 11-minute miles.
yeah, we were like moving.
Like, we were running.
Yeah, we were moving. And then also that was the first point that I could see Humphrey.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That was right.
Yeah.
And it looks small.
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking to you guys afterwards about it. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, there it is. Like, it's so close. And Sam was like, oh my God, there it is. It's so far.
Both me and Sam were like, is that it? We're like, God damn.
Because at this point, we're out of the forest. It opens up. You can just see for miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was far.
But to think how, like, this sounds so cheesy, but to think how far we'd come, like, when I started hiking down that morning in the dark, it felt like I was never going to see Humphrey.
No.
So when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's there. It's still there. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then that started night ops.
Night ops.
Sun actually set.
Yeah, so we moved into the night going through the private land. The private property felt like a really long stretch for
It was
me.
pretty long.
Yeah. Not as long as the highway.
But like, we didn't really see much. So Mark and I would switch off. Like, we would leapfrog, take turns. And like, there was like a ton of like windmills, power lines, everything. You're running under them, you hear them buzzing. And then we just keep going mile after mile. It's like really dark. And then eventually, once I had started running with Haley, Mark had taken off. And it's just Haley and I. It's real quiet. And then we see like a group of like people, like vehicles, homes, people. And we didn't know what to expect. We were like, what are we going to tell these people when we run by them and we're on their private property? And, yeah.
They didn't care.
No, yeah. But like, you see them like a mile or two ahead of you, and then you just keep getting closer and closer and closer and wondering what you're going to say or what they're going to ask.
Headlamps, so like they can see us, obviously. Like,
but then we get close enough, and we're looking at them. They're looking at us. They were like working on a
tractor.
combine,
Yeah.
and they looked confused. Like, what are they doing? Because it's probably
It was like 2 a.m. at that point.
yeah, and they're out there at 2 a.m. working on a combine.
I understand why you're confused.
Yeah. Maybe it was like midnight. Yeah, midnight, 2 a.m. They were, because Sam was like, are they going to like say something to us? There was like a bit, I wanted off that property because like every person I saw, I was like, are they going to like.
I don't know who Mr. Babbitt is, but he owns a lot of land. Like, you look at the map, you're like, man, we still got miles on this dude's land.
Yeah.
We're running for like longer than I thought we were going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it was starting to get cold too then. But we finally get through that section, and then I pick up
Me.
We pick up Mark and I.
That was when we did the only part of the course that was like not a trail.
Yeah. What even was that? I kept calling it seaweed.
Moss. Like seaweed moss. It's just various trails of it. And it was.
Yeah, we like had no idea. Like the trails were fine. At that point, I had heavily started relying on Mark and Sam to keep an eye on the map.
Yes.
I think I had asked Mark like 30 times during that duration, are we on the right trail?
Oh, yeah. And I was like, kind of.
That was his response, kind of. Because Sam and I's section was easy. It was on like a, not easy. It was on like a, it was following like a pivot or like a power line kind of situation. Yeah. So I was like, we can't really mess this section up. But yeah, when we got there, Mark was like, yeah, we're like kind of on trail. But then we weren't, because we ended up crawling under a fence.
We were on the GPS path.
The GPS path just took us through it.
I had to hold up a barbed wire fence.
Yeah. And I'm quite stiff at this point.
Like, yeah, Haley got on the ground and crawled under a barbed wire fence while I held it up. And I was like, cool.
I'm like on the ground, like army crawling. And then I think we had service at this point or something because we
We're
were
at the highway.
where Sam was in the van.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Once Mark took his leg, Mark was like, my foot is acting up. I don't know how far I can run. And I was like, you're going to run to the highway. I drove to the highway. I was like, I am not running to the highway.
I wasn't.
I gave Sam the shitty part.
I will say though, like when we were still running, when I picked up Mark, I was definitely moving slower. I thought through like the moss,
Yeah.
the ocean floor.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that started my least favorite part.
Yeah, we were finally off of the private land on a highway that took you into Flagstaff. And so you could see mile markers along the highway. It was really cold at this point. We like put on all our layers essentially.
It got down to like 36 degrees.
Yeah, we had gloves. We put on all our reflective gear. Thankfully, it was so late, like 3, 4 a.m. that there wasn't a lot of traffic. But the traffic that came by was hauling. It was scary.
Yeah, because there was like a very small shoulder on the highway, and I'm moving. Like Sam was a big trooper during this because it was so cold. I'm wearing down pants. I'm wearing down pants, down jacket. Like we're wearing every layer we brought.
Yeah, because I think I went 6 miles ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was like too far.
Yeah, because I started moving so much slower.
Yeah.
So quickly. Like I was moving good, and then it was when I picked Mark up, I just started moving so much slower. It got dark. I got sleepy.
Well, you had been awake for 24 hours. You had already done, I don't know how many, like 70 miles for the day.
Yeah.
And we're slowly, it's like kind of a sneaky climb too. Just gradual uphill. I don't know. The highway said 60 miles an hour, but everyone flying by us is going 90. There was one person that checked on us, and he slowed down because he could see our reflective gear. He slowed down. He's like, "You folks all right? You need some help?" We're like, "No, we're okay."
Sam's like, "No, we're good." And I'm like,
because we're still far out of Flagstaff. Like, if you saw someone walking into town,
it would be weird.
It'd be weird at that time.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm sure it was weird. I'm surprised only one person stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, we commented. I was like, man, more people should have probably stopped. Yeah, I really didn't love that section. We found Mark. Mark had like gone ahead 6 miles, which throughout the day you guys had been going ahead that distance. And
it made sense for most of the day, but then not at night.
Yeah, it got so cold, and then I think, is that when I napped?
Yeah.
Well, then we saw Mark, and then like there was a couple times where we had him shorten the distance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you napped at the end of the highway.
Yeah, I think actually you did take a nap there,
or is it? Yeah, no, it wasn't there because you were like, you like put the blanket on.
Yeah.
And I made you some quesadillas.
Yeah, because I think it was about. We took the video at about 3:40 in the morning.
And that was after the quesadillas.
So I think at like 3-ish in the morning is when we saw Mark. And I was really sleepy at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Sam was like, maybe you should just take like a little nap. He's like, I'll set an alarm. He set a timer for 20 minutes. Right?
I think it was 15 and then you had 5 minutes to eat or something.
Yeah. So 15 minutes to sleep. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to like sleep, but maybe if I just lay here, I will it'll help me. I was like, I've honestly never napped like that before. Like I've never done a run where I've had to nap like that. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to like sleep. So we stopped in the van. I got in the van, put a down blanket over me, and
You were out immediately.
I was immediately asleep. Like, I do not remember anything from sitting on that chair in the van until Sam like shook me and was like, hey, it's been 15 minutes. And like one of my fears, like one of the reasons I didn't want to sleep was because I was worried it was going to be so hard to get back out there. Like once you just like kind of wind it down.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, okay, cool. I got up and I was like, I didn't really feel like I wasn't ready to like go back out.
Yeah, I mean, part of it was sleep, but I think more so it was just like you needed to warm up. You had to be in the van under a blanket, like because inside the van where there's no wind, the highway was like a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
You just needed to warm up, and so like you also slept for 15 minutes. But I handed you like a hot quesadilla, and you were like, oh, and you were ready to go. Like
I was like a little like my hand came out for the quesadilla. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So then like we kept running, you and I, and we're like, okay, Mark, not 6 miles next time. So then you were like, okay, every 2. So we'd see you, we'd get water or whatever. We'd keep going, and we were moving pretty slow. I was really tired too. In fact, like I was really anxious too because it was like 4 or 5 a.m. and we just have our headlights on the highway. We're getting closer to like the backside of like the north side, but like I kept seeing all these coyotes running around, like really close to us, and I didn't want to tell Haley because she's like, you're like half asleep just walking and running when you
like
can.
one eye was closed, like I'm like walking, jogging, whatever.
I'm making sure you're not walking into the traffic, but like
The van didn't have heat.
all these coyotes, like all these eyes, and they're like real curious, getting close, kind of like laying down, and I could just see their eyes. It was freaky.
Yeah, the van also didn't have heat. And I remember on this stretch, I was sitting in the van and I was pretty cold.
Yeah.
I tried to turn the heat on and it just made that burning smell.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, ooh, this is rough. But drank too much White Monster.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I was like, I was like in the van with the rumple blanket over my legs. I think I was watching Tires on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
What were you watching?
I was watching Tires, the Shane Taylor show on Netflix on my iPad. Just like having heart palpitations, just like waiting.
The amount of caffeine that was.
I was just like, ah.
But the monster just made your heart faster. You didn't feel any more awake.
No.
Yeah, it didn't like help. It just like felt like I just felt like I was having a heart attack. Well, not that bad, but
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the coyotes until after you were like.
I didn't want to tell you because they were like freaking me out. I was keeping an eye on them. I kept turning around and they would like follow us for a little bit. It was weird.
I would have for sure been like I would not have been in a good situation.
We looked tired and rough, and we probably looked like a snack, but
you could take them.
You take them.
There's enough.
Only like 30 pounds.
If there's like 10 of them.
Well, yeah.
So okay, so I get back to Grandpa.
Yeah. At the end of
point,
the real highway.
End of the real highway. This is TMI, but I had to go to the bathroom. But like my legs are wrecked at this point. So I had to like use the bike rack on the back of the.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
You had to grab onto something.
I was like holding onto the bike rack, going to the bathroom, and everything just like hurts. And I was like, man, there really is no dignity out here. That's for sure.
Nope.
And then I was like, all right, guys, don't walk back there. So we hit that, and then
I think you ate a Snickers, you dropped a Snickers, and then I took off. And at this point, I was like, okay, I need some rest because the last segment was just long.
Yeah. And then I think this is where Mark took over. And Mark, was this where I thought we were walking through grass?
Yeah.
I think this was the section. I have never like hallucinated while running before.
Oh yeah.
And
hey, you were getting a little weird.
I was like, and I really think it's just sleep deprivation. That's like what it has to be, right?
Mm-hmm. We started on the road. We started on that road, and it was kind of cool because you could start to see like cabins, like people's cabins.
Oh yeah.
People's like cabin, like porch light was on and stuff, and I was like, oh, like we're here.
We're like getting close to civilian.
We're like, yeah. I was like, oh, we're like kind of in Flagstaff now. Like we're here. I was like, this is pretty cool. And then yeah, Haley was in her own little world.
Yeah. So we took a really cool photo at the end of our road section where we could see Humphrey in the back. It was like shadow and then all these like beautiful stars.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forgot to mention we saw a shooting star, Sam and I, while we were running.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And then at Mark's 100 miler, Mark and I also saw a shooting star. So like these shooting stars like intertwined these two.
They're good luck.
When you're running at night,
yeah, like it was cool. Like it like connected the two, which was really, I don't know. I felt like a cheese bag thinking about it. I was like, oh, this is cute. This is fun.
Cool.
Yeah. But so we saw that and then we're going on the road. I'm starting to like lose my marbles a little bit.
Yeah, it's still like nighttime. It's like 4 a.m.
It's
like,
that weird.
It's still like nighttime.
Yeah. And I'm like, we both have poles. Like we're both with our hiking poles now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the first time I had started with the poles. But the only reason this is relevant is because like I kept like going like this with my pole because I thought there was like a bunch of grass.
What are you doing? Yeah.
And Mark was like, what are you doing? And I was like, Mark, are we on the trail? Like we're walking through grass.
Wow.
Like grass. It just like looked like it was like shin high grass. And I was like, this is so weird. But I was like so tired that I don't think I really cared. And then we also saw coyotes on that section. Remember that, Mark?
Yeah, we saw it was like towards the end.
Yeah.
And there was like glinting eyes, and we looked, and I was like, oh, there's like 12 coyotes over there.
Yes.
And they were just like like tracking, like.
Yeah, you saw their eyes just like moving across.
Like staring at us as we walked by.
Right.
So that was weird.
So weird. And then okay, so that was kind of
light at this point, so that was like kind of nice.
Yeah, it wasn't as dark. So it's getting early-ish at this point. And then we hit, was that the last section before we got to the bottom of Humphrey?
Well, so yeah, once Mark was with you, you guys started somewhat of a climb to the base of Humphrey, not where like the real climbing went, but you guys were like climbing kind of to the trailhead. I drove up a ways, I slept, and then I had an alarm. I saw you guys coming up, and then you were like, we're going to go a little bit more. So then I drove a little more, and I slept a little bit more. And I couldn't turn the van off because it would have died. But then we met up, made you some more quesadillas because you were feeling good. You wanted more nutrition, something hot, and you liked that. Mm-hmm. So we all had some. And then Mark drove like a half mile to the base of...
Oh, yeah. The trailhead.
The trail, I guess. Yeah. And then we were at Bear Jaw, and so then that's when the three of us started the climb up towards the summit. And so the sun had started coming up. We grabbed what we needed, and then we just started going. And we were like, we're almost done. Like, you're going to do this freaking thing.
So I remember looking at my watch and seeing the mileage and then seeing the amount of elevation I had left. And being like, things aren't quite adding up here.
Yeah, I remember because I turned to I didn't want to say anything, but I remember turning to Sam.
Mark, I was struggling. I couldn't keep up with you two. But then Mark stops and Haley hikes ahead to where she can't hear us, and Mark looks at me and what did you say?
I'm like, I was like, this is about to be fucked. I was like, we have like 3 miles and like 3,000 feet to go.
Mark had been so tired for a while, and this is the first time I saw him like alive and awake, and he's just like, this is about to be tough. He's like,
I was like, this is gonna be really hard.
you look at the elevation.
I just kept waiting to like start going uphill, and like we weren't.
So that was the thing. Like in my head, I knew what the mileage was supposed to be, but I knew we were so far from the elevation. I was like, this is gonna. I was like, wait a minute. But then I was also so tired, and I was just kind of like focused in. And then I saw you guys like whispering, and I was like, I don't care. I don't care what they're saying.
The fact that Sam was like, when we started the trail, Sam was like lollygagging.
Oh my god!
And you and me were walking, and you kept turning around. And you were like, "What is this man doing?"
I'm like, I'm the one who ran all this mileage, and he's working on him.
I was so cold from the highway. I had like 7 layers on, and so I just had to keep shedding one because we're going up and up and up, and I was getting hotter and hotter. So I was, kind of
like an expedition level of layers.
Yeah, we were like, we were meeting.
I was so tired. I just kept shoving caffeine pouches in my mouth.
And so you're right. We start hiking, but we're not quite like we're like going uphill,
but not like a lot.
And then at this point, like starting Humphrey, there was like a second layer of adrenaline because the sun had just come up. So having the sun come up, big win. And then secondly, just seeing that trailhead, I'm like, this is the last trailhead. Okay. There's wind in our sails again. We're feeling good. Morale is high. We're hiking along. And then I see
the path
to the summit. And if anybody, like, if you're ever considering doing the backside of Humphrey, don't.
It's literally an avalanche path.
It's an avalanche path. Like I was talking to someone who has a cabin up in Flag and skis snowball, and you have to, if you want to ski back there, you have to get a permit or register with like the National Forest because it's literally just an avalanche path. It is, and we were going up.
It was straight up boulders and
scree and rocks. It was not a trail.
Tiny pebbles. And I couldn't get my pants off because my legs were so tired. I was hot. And I just was like, I kind of was mad. I was like,
you were kind of mad.
I was kind of mad. I like threw a little fit and I like hit my little pole down.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks. Like, this is really awful. Like, this is really hard. Yeah, but I was also like, well, this is like the only way up.
There was no way to like switch back your way up. It was just up.
It was like one step forward and then you would slide.
Yeah.
One step forward. And like when your body's already so tired, like fresh legs, this hike would have been so hard still.
Right.
Just like every step was agonizing. And then we finally get to the saddle and you're just blasted.
Yeah, it was like fucking 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Just blasted with wind.
And it's like loose scree, like Mark said. And like if you lose your footing, like you're gonna tumble and it's gonna be bad. So like at this point, we had the thought planted in our head that like we're not gonna be able to come down this, and so we're gonna have to figure out a plan B with the van. But that's, I guess, the story for later. But it was sketchy.
Yeah, I was like, my legs are so wrecked. Like, there's no way I can like hike down this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get to the saddle, and there's kind of like a false summit, but we're on like a ridge line, and we just keep hiking.
The ridgeline was cool because you could see the
trees.
windmills. You could see the windmills
Oh yeah, from where we were.
from where we were
That
when
was
we
pretty-
were like starting into that private land, and they looked so far away.
And then to the northwest, you could even see the canyon.
Yeah,
You can see the hole.
you could see the whole. But it looked insane. Like it looked so far. Yeah. That was a false summit. And then we just like kind of came up this. The saddle was better. Like the like avalanche like section was horrible. The saddle wasn't like great, but it was better. Like the rock
wasn't.
yeah. So then we got and then basically we just charged it to the summit. And Sam was like a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Snapping some photos and like doing stuff like that. And so I think Mark got up there first, yeah? Were you up there?
I don't know.
Or did we just like go up together? I think we like walked.
I don't know if anyone was first. I think we were just together.
I feel like there was like a photo. Or maybe that was from Sam.
I think that's Sam.
Maybe with Sam. Okay. We just like it was so fun. It's so funny like doing things like bless you. It really is quite anticlimactic. Like I got to the top of Humphrey and like I'm like filled with like emotion. And then Sam comes up and I just remember like saying that was so hard.
Yeah.
And just like being so proud of us and but it's like cool because it's like we got to the top, we checked it off the list, but like it's like about like all the like silly little stories we're like talking about now. And like a year ago, this was like just an absolute pipe dream for my I was like for my fitness. Like it's crazy to like conceptualize like, man, like we did that. Like that was crazy.
Mm-hmm. You'd been running for like 30 plus hours. Like it was like maybe 10 a.m. I don't know. People had just like summited from starting a day hike and we were up there and no one had any idea. We like didn't sleep overnight.
And, like, what the fuck did you come from over there?
Yeah. Right. We started Saturday morning and it's now Sunday.
Yeah. It was something
Saturday morning.
Like it was just like ours. Like, I think maybe like in total, like 7 people knew that I was attempting this.
Yeah, people were tracking you. Like we started getting texts like, you made it.
Yeah, but it really was like a pretty like
minimal.
And it was like special. Like I really wanted it like that. I wanted it just for me and just for us. And like, yeah, it was exactly as I had like hoped it to be for that moment. And man, bliss at the top, but boy, does it just rip your heart out when you realize you have to get down.
Yeah, we sent Sam on a fucking spirit quest.
I stole all of Mark's water.
And I gave Sam all my water and food.
And yeah, nutrition, which thank God he did.
Because at that point, we were going to be able to take the lift down in like 2 miles. So I was like, I don't need any of this. You can have it.
Sam went on an absolute, frankly, okay, at that point, I'm a shell of myself. Okay. Yeah. So.
Like you're done, but you're not done.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like mentally, I was done.
But you got to get down.
But you have to get down. So we sent Sam on an absolute side quest to find the van.
We had all decided we were too tired and fatigued, like physically, to go back down what we just came up because it was so sketchy. And so in order for me to get back to the van, I had to reroute around this bowl. I had to go down the south side, go around all these other trails, these different valleys.
You ran like 9 miles.
Yeah, I had
12, wasn't it?
Or was it? It was long. It was like you did like a proper run.
It was so hard after day one, and my phone died. The GPS died. I was just praying that I could find the van, and I was praying that the van would start.
And also the backside of Humphrey, there's no one back there. Like sketch, like kind of sketch by yourself.
There's no one there, and there's no phone service.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how you guys are doing because I can't communicate. I have to get to the van in a timely fashion. Mark's got a flight that evening.
Oh, yeah. Mark's like flying out that night. So I was like, well, we got to get done at this time.
Yeah. I thought we were going to like take the tram down, and I was like, man, this is going to be so sick. Like, we're going to take the lift down, and then like, I'm going to get a Coke at the lodge and like hang out. And like Haley can just die or whatever. And like it'll be fine. And then we like hike down and we get to the like shoulder and realize that we're gonna have to walk like the fucking last 5 miles down to the park.
You have no water.
And I had no water or food.
4.8 miles, yeah.
Yeah.
This is where you start crashing because
And Haley was just like, it was like Trail of Tears. The death march. You were wearing puffy pants and a t-shirt.
It was like I remember like looking down and like my pants aren't even like on. Like I'm sagging.
I know. I was like, her outfit's really weird, but I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm posting my outfit during this hike. I'm in so much pain at this point. Like my body is done. My brain is done. My body is done. I had high hopes for this tram. They're like, no, tram's not running. I'm like sick. Yeah. So we just start crawling. We are crawling.
Yeah, you were doing 40-minute miles.
Every step was agonizing. Like it going downhill after I almost like looking back, I'm like, maybe coming out of the canyon would have been better. Going downhill was so painful.
Yeah, it was
like,
tough.
It hurts your body different.
And like, the trail wasn't like that smooth.
No, it was super rocky.
Pretty rocky. And every time we'd hit like a really rocky section, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mark would just like turn around and look at me and I would just be like, meh.
Yeah.
How's it going? And I'm like, not great. But Sam's on his side quest, absolutely battling on solo mission. Mark is just being a trooper. Because I was like, you can like go ahead. He's like, nah. I mean, I'm in it.
He's severely dehydrated.
We're all I had no water either.
Yeah,
like, I was out of water.
I was feeling pretty bad.
Oh yeah, like we're both like super dehydrated.
I was like I was still 3 weeks out from 100. I was like, I don't feel good, and I'm like very dehydrated.
And it was just, I mean, we're just crawling. We're going so slow. I'm still hallucinating at this point. I kept seeing like rocks and thinking they were tents. All I could think about was a Big Mac. Like I couldn't.
There was a lot of people.
There were a lot of people.
So we looked disheveled, and there's like the funny thing is it's beautiful fall colors. Like all the like yellow aspens are in flag this time of year. So everyone's up there dressed very nice, taking family photos, just taking photos of the landscape, and they were just like
it's like a couple getting engaged, and I'm just like crawling by them.
I know. It was really pretty, but.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like we got back to the parking lot and like everyone was wearing like nice jeans and shit. And I was like,
I'm just sagging in my puffy pants.
Yeah, puffy pants and like a t-shirt.
The man at this point, we're like, get in.
Smells. Everything smells. Like
there's wrappers everywhere, high chews and cans of Monster.
Oh my God.
I didn't have time to shower.
No, I mean,
just get on the plane.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we finally get down. Sam, by the grace of God, finds the van, drives it around. He's stressed because he thinks we're moving faster than we are. The timing was actually perfect.
I thought you guys took the tram down. I had no idea, so I figured you were waiting there, just freezing with nothing for like.
And everything is dead, so there's no communication. So he's like trying to rush, and we're like chilling. We're like, we just got here. Like,
I was driving a van way too fast off road.
Oh my gosh. But you made it. You made it in time. Yeah, and then then we're like done. We like high-fived and so my Garmin gave me 78.86 miles for the total mileage from the bottom of the river to the top of Humphrey, with the additional down to the river and the additional down from Humphrey. The total was 90.44 miles. Moving time for the 78.86 miles was 28 hours, 36 minutes, and 44 seconds. So that was like an average pace of 21 minutes, 46 seconds per mile, which we know that the hike down from Humphrey was a lot slower. So that was kind of the mileage there. And then 11,682 feet of gain for the duration.
Pretty good.
Which was pretty good. Yeah. And then we went to McDonald's. I got a Big Mac, a bunch of chicken nuggets. I think I even got ice cream. Yeah.
You got like I think we all got. I think I got a chocolate shake or something.
Oh yeah. We
went hard.
We went hard on McDonald's.
We didn't bring a lot of like real food in the van for like me and Sam. Like we didn't really have like great meal food.
We were just eating Doritos and mac and cheese, ramen.
Yeah, I was eating those like meat sticks.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I need some kind of protein.
Right. Yeah, I think nutrition wise, I could always work on nutrition.
There was a couple times Mark was like, I don't think you're eating enough, but you somehow did it.
I know. I was like, she just seems fine, so whatever.
I was pretty nervous about my stomach. Like I've had stomach issues in the past, so I was kind of nervous. I didn't want to like eat too much, and I never really felt bad. I should have probably ate more through the night. That would have probably kept me warmer.
Well,
yeah. Looking back, but then you're just like so tired and like everything is so hard at that point. But yeah, it was really cool. And then we drove. We're all like exhausted, obviously. Like we're all so tired.
Yeah, and they're doing construction on the 51 or the
17
on the way back to Phoenix. So Mark sat in traffic for like an hour.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because eventually I was like, we gotta get back for this flight.
Yeah.
And so we pretty much got back to your place, and within 5 minutes, Sam was taking me to the airport.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we drove. I passed out. I slept in the back. I was dead.
Haley was gone.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I was out. I was snoozing. Sam drove us back to Phoenix. We got back. Mark threw all of his stuff out on the ground in front of our house.
Yeah.
Chucked it out. Threw some of it back in a bag. And then literally 5 minutes later, drove him to the airport. We said we fist bumped. We were so proud. It was great.
I made the baggage check like 2 minutes.
Oh, I forgot how close you were.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, highs and lows. Mark, what was your high? What was your low?
My high was the first running with you the first time when the sun was setting, and I hadn't run since the 100.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I miss this. I hadn't run in 3 weeks, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, it's beautiful. We're going good, and it's great.
Yeah.
And my low was definitely coming off of Humphrey. The walk. I was so thirsty.
Sam, what was your high and low?
Honestly, same. Just like that section was so cool where Mark and I were like tag teaming through that private land, and there's all these like rolling hills, the wind turbines. It just looked like we weren't even in Arizona. It felt like a safari.
It was cool.
and the sun was like setting, and it was just glowing. You could see so far. You could see Humphrey just running with you, and then like you could always kind of see the van in the distance, and so you felt safe.
Grandpa does make you feel safe.
So I was like, we're doing it, just the three of us. And then my low was just that sprint down. And I don't know. I was worried about like mountain lions on that section for some reason. I just kept hearing like things rustling in the woods, and I was like so alone trying to get back to the van. And worried I was going to get lost. And like the Garmin had started to kind of die, or my phone died, so like I couldn't message. The Garmin was working, but
yeah. Didn't you drop the Garmin too?
Oh yeah, well, I was running down a hill, and the Garmin fell out of my pocket, and I didn't notice. But then at one point, I was like, "Where the heck is the Garmin?" My zipper's unzipped. It like came undone, and I'm like, "The Garmin's gone." I was like, "What?" So now I'm not even going to be able to like hit like the SOS button if I need it. I was like, I'm going to turn around, hike 15 feet. If I don't see it, I'm going to keep going. And I walked like 10 feet, and it was just sitting there. So I don't know what like told me to like stop and feel for the Garmin, because I didn't feel it move or anything. I didn't hear it. That was a blessing.
Crazy. Yeah.
How about you?
I think my high was hitting the saddle on Humphrey, because at that point, it was really cool for me to like look and see where we had come from, and it was over at that point. Like it wasn't, we weren't at the summit, but like I was like, all right, like we.
It's like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I was like, we did it, and it was like, I think that was my high. It was cool. Like that was really tough. Like there was a really tough section, and so when I got to that saddle, it felt over. I was like, it's not. There's no stopping now.
Yeah.
And then low, honestly, my low was the hike down. That hike down was heinous.
It was hard.
Would not recommend. It was so hard.
There were so many times during that, I was like, I know why people don't do this, and why people do the rim to rim to rim, but not this. It's like so hard.
Rim to rim to rim is luxurious.
Yeah.
Like, grab lemonade and.
True.
Yeah. I mean, we were crawling under barbed wire fence. Like,
yeah. I think just like, you know, building the route, doing this for, you know, no particular reason, and just seeing it like felt like a true adventure. I think that was the whole point. Yeah. And just seeing like, what if we can do it? What if we can complete it? I think anytime we do something like this, like tough, I'm like, when I think about like what I like learn about myself or what I learn about the situation, is it always like amazes me like what we're capable of. And I'm sure, Mark, you felt that when you did your 100-miler. Like you start at the start line with 1,000 questions. Like there's so much that could go wrong.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and there's so many what ifs, and you're like, when I started it in my head, I was like, there's a very real possibility that a lot of things go wrong, and there's a very real possibility I don't complete this. But boy, am I going to give her hell.
well, that's like not just the start. Like there's so many times where you doubt yourself throughout it.
For sure. And just during training, did I do enough? But I think doing this with just like the small team that we did and like the few people, it just like gave me a lot of peace. Like knowing I was like, okay, let's just go out and see what happens. Yeah, it was cool. But thank you guys. Like for real. I mean, I literally could not have done it logistically without you. And it was like the perfect blend of, I think our personalities work well together. And I think Mark constantly brings the humor.
It wouldn't be the same without Mark. He brings the stoke.
He brings the vibes for sure. It's what you need, truly.
What's the deal with Grandpa? Do you guys still have it?
Grandpa?
Yeah.
The van?
Yeah.
Of course.
I just remembered he needs a new battery, but
Get a new battery? Did you get a new battery yet?
When I got back, I replaced the battery.
oh, I forgot.
I replaced the battery.
Now it's purring like a.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
But man, do you guys have any closing thoughts? Like, what do we think? No?
That was crazy.
Rim to rim.
Yeah. My original plan was to start there, Mark.
Yeah.
Then I was like,
why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I want to do it again too.
Yeah. I think that's the final thing. I think the real winner was Snickers. Big fan of the Snickers. And final remarks, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Those are lifesavers.
What was?
Snickers. They'll get you going.
That's it, folks. Snickers will get you going.
Mark, did you get robbed or did you sell the skis?
No, I sold them.
Oh, good.
Okay, cool.
Just making sure. You came back with no cash and no skis, so I was worried.
Well, I was like, do we wait for Mark? And then the dogs were barking. I was like, maybe we should just cut this out. And I was like, nah, we'll just ride with it. Whatever. Sam's like, just keep going.
It's sold for $300.
Nice.
Hey.
Good for you, Mark.
And I'm gonna get a new pair.
I love it. I know if we post this somewhere, the people are gonna wonder like who you sold them to, what the deal was, all of that.
Sean.
What?
I think his name was Sean.
Okay, Sean. Sean, enjoy your new skis. If anyone is gonna attempt the To Hump in the future,
It's
good
hard.
luck on the backside of Mount Humphrey.
Sean White?
Okay, Mark. We're gonna stop recording.
Bye.